Hey, it's your boy Drox342 here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. As some of you may know, I'm going to be taking a break from modding in Sonic World DX. So instead of showcasing something new, this is going to be the start of a new series where I look back at a stage that didn't quite make the light of day. This is Sonic World DX Stage Mod Graveyard. So, first things first, I'm going to take a look at my first stage after Frozen Cloud Tops that I was set to work on, which was another Alwa 12 remaster, this time Snow Ice Mountain. And it stemmed from something pretty simple. When I was working on Frozen Cloud Tops, I changed the main theme to something that I thought fit a little bit better. And that just so happened to be the theme for Snow Ice Mountain. So, you know, I felt like it just kind of made the stage a little less replayable. Because, you know, anytime you're playing the stage, you're just thinking the whole damn time, well, this is the Frozen Cloud Tops theme, isn't it? So, you know, I felt in all fairness to that stage, I'd give that one some time to shine. So, that was, you know, that was my first initiative. And then, you know, my second one was that, you know, the objecting in the stage wasn't exactly amazing either, and there was a lot of bits that came off kind of janky in the legacy version, or the legacy port of the original stage, I should say. So I just kind of wanted to honor it in the same way that I felt Frozen Cloud Tops was honored, and that was by, you know, kind of making a couple changes, remastering everything, you know, fixing some of the objecting. There's one bit that really always stood out to me, and it's the tunnel bit, the bit where you're in the tunnel. It's just glitches galore. I mean, Sonic is like always finding some way to get on the wall and the ceiling, which just halts all your progress. It's just not very fun. So I made sure to get rid of that. The second thing I made sure to do was there's one bit of the stage toward the end where there's a bit of collision, but there's nothing physical there, and I always get stuck on it, or I always got stuck on it in the legacy version. So I made sure to try to remove that at least the best I could at the time. Another thing is, when I was working on the tunnel at the end, one of the major things that stopped me was I didn't really understand how camera locks work. So, you know, a lot of it came off as pretty janky, you know, even though I was supposed to kind of end up stopping things from being janky, just kind of made things worse. But, you know, I think it was still a good idea, in all fairness. And, yeah, I mean, that's one of the main reasons that I stopped working on the level. Another one was I really wanted to do a lot to retool it. I wanted to add a lot more to it, and just put it on that level with Frozen Cloud Tops, which I didn't get around to doing. I did think about some of the alts and a possible encore, so I'll talk about that right now. For Mission 2, I decided to pay homage to that one Unreal 4 engine tech demo with Sonic in it that, you know, everyone jokes around inspired Sonic Frontiers. So I'd say I was pretty successful in pulling that off, at least so far. You know, I obviously gave up at a certain point, but it definitely had that essence. I believe that one probably would have worked best as like a free roam stage, but you know, you can't really complete those. So I think ideally it was going to be like a destructor stage. Another reason why the whole stage just didn't really come to fruition was I also never asked Alwa if he was okay with me remastering the stage. And, you know, that's purely because I just never got to that point. And frankly, you know, if I was going to remaster one, there were some others on my list that were higher. We'll look at them later. You know, one funny thing that I always thought was kind of interesting that I kind of regretted after doing Frozen Cloud Tops is, you know, I felt like I did the stage justice, but I feel like if I was a member of the DX team, I would have remastered the stage very differently. And that was actually another reason that I wanted to remaster Snow Ice Mountain, you know, because, you know, if I was D4, you know, if I was Gerbil or something, I would probably make Frozen Cloud Tops Mission 1, you know, the Hilltop Alt Mission 2, Snow Ice Mountain Mission 3, and like a, you know, some alt of that Mission 4. And then for the Encore, I had this cool idea that I never really saw through to the end, where it's Quartz Quadrant from Sonic CD, and you know, they're big chunks of the level, and you know, maybe like you complete a chunk of the level, get to a teleporter, and it teleports you to like a whole new area that's like its own time period, you know. And the reason I didn't do that was because there's a lot of textures. It's always difficult translating something from 3D to 2D also, but I didn't know how to make separate skyboxes. You know, that required 3 different skyboxes for the 3 different time periods. And I know it is possible to do that, but I just didn't know how. Anyway, getting back to Snow Ice Mountain, for Mission 3, the second alt, I decided to take after Sonic 1 and do Spring Yard Zone. Now, may seem kind of like a crazy idea at first, but I don't know, I just really saw it working out. You know, the purple hills, the grass, it clicked for me. Now, the obvious part that was going to be a little difficult was translating the more mechanical elements of the stage into Snow Ice Mountain, because, you know, Snow Ice Mountain is just very naturalistic looking, and that was a big factor for why I ended up quitting the stage too. I just couldn't crack the code. I couldn't crack the code of what I even wanted the textures to be. Like I said before, it's difficult when you translate something 2D to 3D because you have to change the sprites to account. So yeah, that was really the main reason I gave up. Yeah, I guess here, that bit I was talking about, I must have not removed from all of the missions, but yeah, that's essentially what ended up halting a big chunk of the stage. And you know, I just, other ideas came up. I had other ideas for stages that I thought worked pretty well. And yeah, of course, you know, Spring Yard Zone, it's gotta be the ring stage, you know. It's gotta. So one other thing that's pretty interesting is when the topic came up for Encores for Snow Ice Mountain, I went into the Blitz Preservation Pack and found Holoska Act 3 ported over into Blitz. So my first instinct was, okay, cool, this is like an ice level. Maybe this would fit good as an Encore for Snow Ice Mountain. But you know, as time went on, I sort of became disillusioned with that idea. The whole idea of, oh, let's make the Encore to this stage a completely different stage. Because, you know, then it sort of like trivializes that stage. You only have like one mission to play it in. And I was gonna do the same thing actually with Black Comet. I was gonna make Last Way like the Encore, and then I think it was Cody Crimson who said, don't do that. You know, I'd make it its own stage, if not like 2 alternate missions, just like so you know you can get your use out of the stage and it's just not like a waste. And I was kind of like, yeah, you know, that's a really good point. And you know, I figured I already had 2 alts, so I don't know, I'd have to get rid of one of them, and I don't know, it was just a total creative block there. But this stage is pretty cool enough itself. It is pretty short though, that's one thing I will admit. It's very short. I don't think it would have been, it's not a very satisfying stage, but I think maybe if like you did something here where getting to the end of the stage brings you to like a switch, and then like the goal ring's actually at the beginning of the stage, you know, kind of like you go all the way there and then you have to go all the way back. I think it would work. I think there's something doable there. I think there's a lot of potential in what this could be as a stage. As a Snow Ice Mountain Encore, I don't know. I don't know. I suppose really what could have worked better there as an Encore was maybe like just like the stage backwards, like Snow Ice Mountain backwards. I did play around with some ideas, you know, like Underground Zone from Sonic 2. Maybe like, you know, a level from Cave Story or something. You know, the song that was, you know, Frozen Cloud Tops, originally Snow Ice Mountain, was actually, I heard of it firsthand from like an old modding video. The level was called Barren Mountain Zone, so I thought, oh, you know, maybe even Barren Mountain Zone could be the Encore, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know, regardless, it never made the light of day. So this is what's left. This has been Drox342, wishing you all a nice day.